Hi guys, thanks so much for stopping by. So today I will be doing a mini series review, and this is called The Keepers. It's very dark, I would say, and it is rated TVMA. Anybody there that's a parent, I would actually say, if in this kind of situation, I think when you have a child, it's up to you and how you introduce and how to help them see signs of predators. I know that's somewhat of a spoiler, but like in my mom groups, there's a ton of people out there that don't really know when to introduce. And to me, I always say it's up to you when you want to introduce that, because monsters and people out there don't really care how old your child is. It's more of when they can take advantage of the child. So I would say if your child is like around other people, not just you and not just like your significant other, but like even family members, because more like family members or friends of the family, because as statistically has shown, it's a higher percentage that the person that does do abuse to a child, especially sexual abuse, is someone that they already know, who was introduced by their parents or some family member. So this is what the documentary is about. It's about crime and sexual abuse, abuse of power and things like that. People have to understand any kind of abuse, maybe physically, mentally, sexual, psychologically, in any form, it's usually about power. People have to put that in mind, that all of these usually is like power. It has to do with the power of that person that is inflicting all of these abuse to their victims. So you have to keep that in mind, that it's not like a specific thing that they're going to. It really is the power that makes them feel great, and it's just different facets on what they would prefer that makes them feel powerful. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but I'm trying as much as I can. So The Keepers, actually, when I first noticed this, it just said a 7-part docuseries about the unsolved murder of a nun and horrific secrets and pain that linger nearly 5 decades after her death. So that was it. And it was always like, who killed Sister Kathy? What happened to Sister Kathy? And things like that. So watching this, per episode, to me, it was talking about the Catholic Church, and it was talking about a nun. It was talking about a lot of different, and they made it so beautifully well that in the very beginning, I had a lot of questions, and it was slowly getting answered. And they were answered really, really well. There was a part, and I'm not gonna cry, but maybe I will. There was I forgot which one it was. It was one of the survivors. She was talking about her experience, and it really stunned me, because it's not very often you see something very transparent and very bold and very brave of someone to do that. And the way she described it was so detailed and horrific that it was it was very eye-opening for me. If anybody, which if I haven't yet, I'm probably going to do a review on the movie Spotlight. But if you haven't seen that movie, where it was based on a bunch of reporters, uncovering the Catholic Church and the abuse that they have been inflicting for how long, for decades. This is somewhat kind of connected, because it's the Catholic Church. It's just, this is in a different location. This is not in Boston. This is rated 8.1 out of 10 stars in IMDb.com. I feel like this is like a 10 out of 5 stars. It's made beautifully. And it's a documentary, it's a docu-series, so you know, it's not really fictionalized or anything. So it just, I feel like these kind of situations, like my husband could watch more than I think like one episode. Like I forgot what it was, but he couldn't go through with it. It was too hard for him. It was too dark for him, that he couldn't go through that. And I felt obligated to watch the entire thing because these people were brave enough to put their whole life in this miniseries to share, so that you can reach at least one person out there to prevent this from happening again. And I thought that was really brave of them to do that. I thought that was very courageous. Not a lot of survivors, not a lot of people in this position or in any form of abuse of like they've been a victim or survivor are brave enough to come and even go on a show or a TV show or a movie or a documentary that you are really going to be shown and it's accessible to anybody. For me, that's really, really courageous, and they're like a lot of people's heroes. You have to understand that when you watch this docuseries, it shows the struggles that they had to go through since they have been abused or mistreated. It just, they were children when this started, and now they're like my parents' age or older. They're much older, and you can really, like, you can see the toll that they went through. That any kind of abuse, a lot of times, just, I mean, even statistically, they would show you how this can really harm a person, like, for the rest of their life. And it just depends on them if they're able to overcome the pain or the nightmares that they would probably get on occasion or on a daily basis. And some people are braver, and some people are stronger, and some people are just not. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that everybody copes differently and everybody reacts differently. Even if this is something that's really, really hard for you to watch, I still do recommend you watch it. I feel like if you have any type of family, if you don't have your own kids, but you have nieces and nephews, your best friend or any kind of friend or neighbor that you have a great relationship with, they have kids. You can, like, this is something I feel like everybody needs to watch. My husband couldn't go through with it. It was so hard for him, like, for him. I remember I asked him, like, why can't you watch this show with me anymore? And he said, the details are too extreme for me that, I'm sorry, I getting emotional again. It was upsetting him that he had to leave the room. Like, he couldn't even hear it in the background. Like, he had to like, pull himself out of there and put something else on to kind of just, I think he said, to muffle whatever he heard and whatever was shown. Some people can be like, I just feel like you gotta push through. And if it takes you like a month or months to go through the entire series, I still would recommend it. I give this a 2 thumbs up. I feel like things like this, taboo, the darkness of the world, and the boogeyman isn't really someone from the forest or a cave or anything. It could be your neighbor, it could be your uncle, it could be your aunt, it could be a cousin, it could be your coach, it could be a teacher, it could be anybody. And to have this, for me, is to educate everybody and to show them to really do watch out, and watch out for your kids and things like that. You just never know, and you can't really you can try to protect your kids as much as possible, but there's a certain point in which you also gotta be there to, I mean, sometimes no matter how much you do protect your children or anybody, sometimes it's also not such a bad thing for them to know that it depends on the person. Again, like I said, depends on the person and how you want to introduce it. But I feel like awareness is always key, and everybody's different. Some people, depending on their personality, are like, they can digest and watch something like this. And yes, it takes a toll. Like, it took a toll on me. I was crying. I was very upset. I was crying, like, even now. Like, I was having a hard time dealing with this, and I was even having a hard time, doing a review and all that, because this is a very, like, extremely dark documentary. So for me, I feel like every adult should watch it. And I feel like when you do believe that certain children and things like that, maybe you can try. I'm not saying they need to watch it, but I'm just saying, like, something for them to know that there are people that in society you're being told you can trust them. They're your friend. They can be your mentor. You look up to them, but instead they are the real monsters of the world. So that's why I really want as many people as possible to watch this docuseries. It's very, very difficult for some people. My husband still hasn't seen the whole thing. He just couldn't. I was talking to him about it because it was just stuck in me. Like, I was like vibrating, literally vibrating. And he was just like, what's going on, all that. And I was just telling him, at a certain point, he was even just going, I just can't. I just can't. This is too hard. I just can't. I can't listen anymore. So just so you know, if you're interested in watching this and you're very sensitive in these kind of dark situations, just so you know, I would still encourage for you to finish the whole thing. But if you can't finish it, let's just say on a Monday, you can always continue again next Monday or 2 Mondays from there, or following Wednesday, whatever it would be. I feel like these people were pacified for decades. These people were told they were liars. They were unworthy of anybody's time. Just incredibly re-abused over and over again. And I believe that this is a way to really truly kind of get them some sort of redemption, for them to speak out and anybody to listen. It's hard. This is very difficult, but I feel like they deserve the voice that they did share, and they deserve to be heard. I give this a 2 thumbs up. Again, I give this a 10 out of 5 stars. I highly recommend this docuseries. After I finished this, I couldn't rewatch it because I feel like I was just gonna cry like the whole time, and I was gonna be upset for a really long time. I feel like one for me is enough. Some people might want to watch it over and over again to get more details, to feel like maybe they missed certain things. It really is worth the watch. It's very gritty for me. It's difficult, it's gritty, but it's made very well. And some people want to live a life of, like, I live in a bubble, everything's peachy, and you don't acknowledge certain things that do exist in the world. I would suggest you really need to put a step into this and actually accept the fact that the world can be peachy, can be beautiful and perfect, but there's also a dark side in there. And I feel like we need to have an open mind and keep that in mind, so that we can notice when there are people that do need us, that don't feel like they have a voice, and we can encourage them to have their voice, to speak up. I'm very, very interested in anybody else who has seen this, anybody else who wants to share. If you want to share a story, I love to always spread awareness, and where more to do it than here. No one's gonna pacify this. I don't think anyone should, and I'm gonna fight for it. But if you guys want to share a story, if you guys have seen this and you want to share how it made you feel, what your reactions are, what, does this make you cry? Does this make you sad? Anything you want to talk about this docuseries, let me know down below in the comment section. I love hearing from you guys all the time. All my social media accounts are in the description section. I hope you enjoyed my review. You're going to hit the like, subscribe, and of course the bell so you're notified every single time I do upload a new video. I know it's kind of somber, so it's very, this is usually kind of like the smaller percentage of my channel. So thank you guys so much for the wonderful, beautiful support, the beautiful words that you guys always share with me. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.